Hey friends, welcome to the Sunshine Farm. I'm Jen.
I'm Chris.
And this is baby Malachi. Today we're gonna take you on a tour of our 12.5 acre farm in upstate New York. Our goal for today's video is to show you all the things, but let's head out. We're gonna start with the back of the property, take you guys through our trails into the back of the farm where we have some pastures, and we'll walk around the farm and show you the different animals, the garden, the orchard, and we have some new gardens to show you too. So let's head out over there. And as usual, in every farm tour, if you haven't seen any of them, I encourage you to take a look back. We have our barn cat friends. We have Basil. She's right over there. Whoop, she's moving. She's on the move. She's gonna join us. Who knows, maybe we'll get Sage joining us too.
She might show up.
Will Sage join us? We'll see. Okay, let's head out to the back. What does Malachi think of the farm tour?
Malachi is pretty unimpressed.
Malachi's never been back here.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we
Oh
did
wait, maple syrup tapping he was.
Yeah. Basil's just bounding around.
This is one of our best maple tapping trees right here. It's actually a box elder. If you didn't know, you can tap box elder trees. They are maple trees. One thing we have been noticing a lot more of over here in the woods is deer. So we've been seeing them come quite close actually. I hear Sage. Just hear her. Nope, she's coming. Basil and Sage join us on every single farm tour, and I hadn't even seen Sage all day long, and here she comes bounding through. She heard us on our farm tour and she wanted to join. So everybody say hi to Basil and Sage. This is a wild cherry tree, and we need to figure out how we can get up here to harvest them because they're loaded. I don't know if you can see, but they're like loaded with fruit in the branches. Tractor. You want to put me in the bucket of the tractor?
You can get to these ones at least by doing that.
I do not want you to lift me up in the bucket of the tractor. Crazy ideas here, folks. Then our property goes back and over a few acres, but we can't go back there right now because Chris needs to brush hog it still. There's blackberry right there. Yep. Blackberry all right here. There's just a bunch of blackberry that just grows all along this hedge line. Yeah, these are all wild blackberries, but they're tiny compared to our cultivated blackberry. Very different. Very different.
Very different looking.
We have this patch of like little woods, and it's just, I'll show you guys a different angle once we get a little further down, but it's at the top of the property, and then you can see there's our barn way down there, and then the house, and then there's,
whoa, and there's a deer.
Oh my gosh, there was a deer right in the grass over there, and it just jumped right up. I actually find it really interesting to walk around the property and just look at the native plants that are growing. Oh, the cats.
Pacifier, not on, correct. The sideways suck, he's mastered.
It's the wrong way. You're so cute. So we are on 12.5 acres. We are in upstate New York, western New York, outside of Rochester, which is a small, mid-sized city. And our property is mostly pasture, but we also have a couple acres of woods. If you haven't followed us before, if you're new here, we are a plant-based homestead. So we have companion farm animals and we have gardens and all of these things, but we don't raise any animals for food. So our diet is vegan. We have a lot of fun here. So welcome, we're glad you're here. We hope you stick around. What are you doing? Keep going, crazy thing. We have horses that are out in pasture right now, but I don't think they're gonna be visiting us right now. Sage is leading the way.
She won't let us catch up.
Okay, now we're back into the woods, heading back to the area where the animals are. here we are at the main animal area where we've got our chickens and our goats and our barn. Let's talk about the animals. So we have 4 goats. They're rescues, and they live in a goat pen that Chris built 3 years ago with welded wire and wooden boards. They're happy. He also built a shelter off the barn a few years back. One of our big goals over the next year or so is to get this area back here fenced in for the goats and be able to actually expand them into the woods using fencing that can move. So like electric netting, for example, which we do have some of. So that's a goal of ours, and it's just a matter of getting it done, finding the time to do it. So those are the goats. We would love to rescue more goats in the future. Really passionate about rescuing, and goats are really fun. Yeah, we really enjoy them, and their poop and hay waste goes right into the garden, which makes for excellent gardening. We also have this beautiful barn, which is a work in progress, but it looks so much better than it used to, you guys. We're in the middle of the hay season, so that's why you see that hay elevator there. We still have about 40 to 50 bales to get up into the barn, but my genius idea of adding a dormer in the front makes it so much easier, and Chris's ability to execute my genius idea has made our lives a lot easier when it comes to getting hay into the barn. If you've been here for a while, you might remember it used to be a lot different. It was red, the door wasn't centered, it didn't have a dormer on the roof was old asphalt shingles, and it needed a lot of work to become the beautiful space that it is. But it still has a lot to go. Chris is in the middle of building doors, which I think it's been like 2 years that you've been working on this.
Started working on it and then like a pause for a year.
Yeah, we gotta put in windows and add a door to the dormer. But even unfinished, it looks so much better than it did. We also added solar panels to the barn. So now our entire property is getting its electrical needs met through solar. And in case you're wondering, we're not off grid. The solar is on the grid, but we are able to use all of that electricity made and power all of our needs. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, so moving over to the chicken coops. Let's take a look at what are going on with the chickens. So over here, this is our main flock. Distracted by the roses. They're so gorgeous. Ladies. Okay guys, do you want some roses? I'm gonna give him one of these roses that needs to be deadheaded. Ooh, tasty treats. Hey, you like some treats? We have 7 chickens in this run and coop. We used to have a lot more, but they have just passed on from various reasons. The flowers don't just add beauty, but they're also good for the chicken's health, and the chickens love them as little tasty snacks. So you can just throw a little rose in there and they'll enjoy eating their little hearts out. We want to expand fencing into this area around the barn. My goal is to eventually be able to let like all the animals out, let the goats and the chickens out into this area, and to maybe hopefully one day have a livestock guardian dog that can keep an eye on things and keep predators away, because the foxes are bold. We see them regularly, like maybe once a week we'll see a fox in the pasture.
Yeah.
We've lost 2 chickens to foxes. I came home one day to a fox eating one of our chickens. That was traumatic. For now, they're not free ranging, but one day, hopefully, they will be. So we've got these chickens right there, but we also have another flock of chickens, which are our silky chickens. And so we have our silky flock in with 2 standard sized chickens because they were getting picked on. One of them was getting really picked on by the main flock. So what we did was we took her and her best friend and we introduced them to the silkies, our bully-free coop, as we like to call it. And they're happy in there. They're super happy. Everyone gets along, no fights and no issues.
Always.
Our favorite chickens are the silkies. We don't like to have favorites, but we would totally just have silkies for chickens. They're so fun, they're so friendly, they're super docile and really hilarious. People like equate them to Muppets, the Muppets of the chicken world. Now over here by our 2 barn cats, we have my cut flower garden and some random perennials. Now this bed has my dahlias in it, as well as a number of other cut flowers, which I will go in detail over in another video about our cut flower garden. Raspberry bush that's gone bonkers. The borage is finally blooming. And we got our hardy kiwi. Whenever I say we have hardy kiwi growing on our farm and show people what this is, they say, you can grow, I can't say that. Kiwi? They say, you can grow kiwi in New York? And my answer is, well, no, you can't grow kiwi in New York, but you can grow hardy kiwi. It's so hard to say that. You can grow hardy kiwi, and that's what this is. It's not flowering yet. It's never flowered. We've never actually tasted it because it takes a long time to get big enough and vigorous enough to flower. But it's huge. It's just gone crazy. So we've got 2 females here and a male in the middle, and we're hoping to taste the hardy kiwi so we can tell you all about it one day. So we're just gonna take a stroll through the gardens, tell you about each of the beds, but I'm not gonna do a full garden tour because I do those all the time. I just did one a week or so ago. You can check that out, and I'll be doing one again real soon. One thing we haven't updated you guys on in a while is our vintage Airstream. That 31 footer over there is going to be renovated real soon. This time I say that, but I actually mean it. So it's been 2 years and we haven't done anything to it. Literally, the only things we've done is gotten it here and taken everything out.
Yeah.
So this fall, we are taking this to Ohio, and we are starting the renovation process by working with contractors, essentially, who do this for a living, because we are so max capacity in terms of what we can accomplish. So we need help. You ready to go on vacations in the Airstream? So let's take a walk through the gardens. We do have a brand new garden, which is not yet planted in, but by this weekend it's going to be, and I'm so excited about it. That is the kitchen garden, which I will do a full tour on soon, but it's not fully done. What we do have, wood chips. We're just gonna fill in this rest of this area with wood chips. We've already gotten all of this area filled in. Our garden is about 6,000 square feet. It's a mix of annuals and perennials and a number of different styles of permaculture garden beds. We have hugelkultur, which is basically planting in soil that's on top of buried rotted wood. We have no dig. We have Ruth Stout. We have Back to Eden. We have a previously tilled garden that we're trying to bring back to life and turn over to permaculture. It's a lot. It's a lot of growing space. It's about 6,000 square feet. So this is our hugelkultur bed. It is the best performing garden in our entire space right now. We've got so many things growing in here. I have a mix of annuals and perennials. And we have our no dig bed, which is just gorgeous. Just love this bed so much. We also have some perennials in here. It's basically just a plant nursery that I have all in one spot so I can make sure everything gets watered. A lemon tree, grapevines, peach tree, and 2 jujube trees. And if you have questions about what we're doing with jujube or what that is and lemon tree, just leave them in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer it in future videos about our orchard plans and growing fruit trees here. So we have the no dig bed. This is a Ruth Stout bed where we have a perennial artichoke in Upstate New York, putting off fruit right now, as you can see. Another Ruth Stout bed right here. I've got some peonies in the front here. I'm just using this as a nursery right now before I decide they're forever home. And this in here is a perennial bed. It's actually the start of our new food forest. And we're gonna put a little table and chairs in there. That is my perennial herb and tea garden. One thing I wanna show you in this food forest bed, an asparagus patch for the very first time. All of these ferny things are asparagus. Oh, one thing we also have that I haven't really mentioned is we have 2 horses. They're all the way back there. Hey! He just like comes right in, like real hot.
Ooh, buggy.
Hey, handsome!
I look into your eyes, I see we're out of time.
So that is the no-till garden, and as you can see, it looks very neat, not very many weeds, very productive. Quite the comparison with this space right over here. This, my friends, was our original tilled garden. All the way from over here, all the way over there. The only spot we've recovered is this little sliver right in here, which we've turned into the berms and swales, as we like to call them. The reason we call those the berms and the swales is because they are berms and swales. They're mini berms and swales. We put those in last year because we needed more growing space and we wanted to take back this original garden. So we put those in, we love them. We'd love to reclaim the rest of this space, but it is so overcome with weeds that it's honestly an overwhelming project and it's hard to even know where to start. Finally, our orchard. Guys, let me tell you, this is not the update I wanted to share on the orchard. This is not what we were hoping for. Our original goal was to have an orchard and food forest that was packed with food all in this space. Now it is deer eaten, dying fruit trees, and sad homesteaders who are having to move everything closer to the garden so we can actually take care of it all. We do have a few good things we want to share with you. Yeah. We do have some beautiful Jerusalem artichokes, a peach tree that is doing okay, albeit only on one side. We're just waiting for some growth to happen on this side. It might not be till next year. Really? We have a single peach. Nope. Just kidding. We have 2 peaches.
But wait, there's more.
We have 3 peaches. We do have 3 peaches on this fruit tree, but what this doesn't show you is the one peach that was doing amazing and then suddenly died. The other peach that was doing sad, that wasn't doing well, that still isn't doing well, that we're trying to save, that we actually moved. But this one is doing okay, and I've been fertilizing it. I mulched it heavily, and I've been making sure to take off any of the leaves that have the fungal issues. And it's put on a lot of new growth this year. So I think this one's gonna make it. We have 3 hazelnuts that we put in 3 years ago. We have 2 hazelnuts that we put in 2 years ago. They're all doing well. The ones that are older are obviously more mature, and we're hoping they might fruit this year. We'll see. So this is the beautiful hazelnut. This one is just huge. And some of this stuff looks like it might be flowers, but I really don't know. If you know hazelnuts, let me know if any of this looks like it's gonna flower, maybe fruit. We do have another one right there. And the barn cats. Oh, she doesn't see it coming. Check out this, guys. See all of that? Those are all blackberries. All of these guys loaded on there. I cannot wait to harvest them. It's gonna be so tasty. So we have had deer coming in and eating our fruit trees and completely damaging them to the point where they're probably going to die. So we did put in a camera to see if we can see what's going on with the deer. So we have a trail cam. Yes. And we set it up to hopefully catch the deer in action, just so we know what we're dealing with. Let's check the trail cam and see if we find anything. The way it's running, no, it's too short, but it doesn't look like a cat. Another night, another chance to catch the deer in action. So they've been coming in this area and just eating off the tops of the fruit trees. That pear over there was loaded with foliage, and this down here and some new growth here.
Also,
but the deer literally ate all this.
Definitely was not this loose. This wasn't
so they like knocked that over too.
Around like that.
That cherry tree and that apple tree were doing amazing, and then the deer basically killed them. So that was very sad. The saddest part about all of this is we didn't even see it coming, because we just thought, well, we live in this rural property and we have deer all around us, but they never bother us, they never do anything. And here we are, not even realizing that our trees were dying because deer were scratching them up. And I just thought they were dying for other reasons, but no, it was because the deer were basically removing the bark layer, which is super important for young fruit trees, and almost half of them died. But don't worry, we do have more fruit trees. We're doing a much better job this time taking care of them and keeping them safe from the deer. We even have some fun things like pawpaws. I'm really excited to update you guys on those in future videos. Thanks for joining us on this farm tour. Can't wait to hear what you want to know more about in the comments below. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Say bye, Malachi.
Bye-bye.